You are Locked On Hurricanes Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Hurricane fans? My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and welcome to your Canes Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And today is a good day, right? It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. And wow, what a performance. What a victory over the Wolfpack of NC State. 41-7 ends up being the final, but it really was not even that close when you look at the numbers, which we will do on this show. They finally put it together, offense, defense. I hate to see NC State get the junk touchdown late like Syracuse did last week with the reserves on the field. But with all the injuries, you don't want to get anybody else hurt. And the defense played lights out today. As good a game as you're going to see a defense play, as good a game as you're going to see Carson Beck play. Girard Pringle Jr., lived up to all that hype, and he lived up to all of you who wanted him. Alex Donno, first and foremost amongst you, who wanted him on the field more. He was fantastic today. Keelan Marion more than stepped up in the absence of CJ Daniels. Malachi Toney had his best game in a while, a real big one with a couple of touchdowns, 5 catches, but he threw a 43-yard pass and just missed a touchdown pass to Pringle as well. And, just an unbelievable Jakobe Thomas with 2 interceptions, a pick 6. They had a field goal and a touchdown to get the scoring started, completely dominating the Wolfpack of NC State. But man, what a performance today. We're going to get into it and break it all down for you today. And of course, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. This is your Canes Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. Thank you to you everydayers. Thank you to everybody who has helped get us there. And thanks to everybody who's here right now. Man, that chat is spinning, really spinning right now. And it should be. I mean, you guys are having fun in there as you should. Alabama kind of messed things up a little bit on us, losing to Oklahoma 23-21. Georgia Tech comes back and beats Boston College. You thought that was going to happen for you, but it didn't. But this team wins out and plays like this. And look, Pitt looked like crap against Notre Dame. And so you have Pitt in a couple of weeks. But if you take care of business and you win out, you should make the playoff. You should make the playoff. I don't think there's any chance for the ACC championship game. And I told Alex on the preview show that we did yesterday that I don't really care about that. I don't really want the Hurricanes to be in that situation. I don't think that they will be. And I don't think that it even matters. The ACC is what? I mean, it means nothing. It never has. I thought we should have always remained an independent. But when you look at the rundown there, here's what we have coming up on the show for you today. Their most complete game of the season. The defense completely dominated, especially early on, but throughout the game. NC State didn't get into our territory until less than 2.5 minutes were left in the third quarter. They didn't cross the 50. Back-to-back interceptions on back-to-back drives by Jakobe. Just an outstanding job by Miami in all phases. And look, I've been the first one to rip Mario Cristobal and Shannon Dawson when they deserve it, and they have deserved it plenty of times this year. I've been the first one to say the offense has been inconsistent all year long. But if you go back and look at the last thing I said yesterday with Alex, I said, look, I still believe Carson Beck. I still believe this offense can get that consistency, can turn it around. I believe in this year's offense much more than I believed in last year's defense, is what I said. And I concluded the remark by saying, I still believe Beck can do it. I still believe the offense can turn it around. And today is a great springboard into Virginia Tech. Nothing more. It's a great springboard into Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh. None of this means anything if you don't win these next 2 games because of the losses you obviously suffered earlier this year to Louisville and SMU. And you think about those games, right? In field goal range, looking for the tie against Louisville, touchdown wins it. You had the game in control the whole time against SMU, including in overtime when you had a chance to win it. You have the win over Notre Dame. The USF win keeps looking better and better every week. And man, oh man, your Miami Hurricanes with an outstanding, nearly flawless performance today. I say nearly because NC State scored at the end of the game. But Miami's defense dominated start to finish, right? Jakobe Thomas, the 2 picks, 1 a 60-yard pick 6. Malachi Toney, Girard Pringle Jr., both true freshmen. Pringle was the scout team player of the week 2 games ago, and now he's literally 2 weeks in a row the player of the week in the running back room and one of the players of the week on the team. I had a big game, over 100 yards. We'll hit the numbers after the break. Alex Donno is going to join us in just a couple of minutes, and he'll be here as well. But Miami outgains NC State. We'll give you the numbers. We'll read the numbers after the break. But unofficially, 586 to 143, 214 to 23 on the ground. They held them to 23 rushing yards. It didn't matter if Hollywood Smothers was back. He looked like one of the Smothers brothers out there trying to run the ball. You young kids, Google those guys, comedians from back in the day. But scoreless until the very end of the game with the reserves there. Didn't cross into Miami territory until 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. And with that, we will bring in our guy, Alex Donno, because he's on a limited timetable. First touchdown of the year for Elijah Lofton, but so much to be happy about today. Again, we will give the numbers as we bring Alex in. We'll give the numbers after the break. And we got about 5 minutes, Alex. We'll go a little bit over with you, man. But, man, we've been waiting for this one. And I just kind of said it, and I want to lead with this and then let you run and do your thing. But I said to you yesterday when we did our little preview segment, I have faith that Carson Beck can turn it around. I have faith that the offense can turn it around and put together some consistency toward the end of the season. Today was a good start heading in that direction, but make no mistake about it, my friend, it started with the defense setting the tone and just blasting NC State all over the field today.
Yeah, got to give our flowers to the defense first and foremost. They didn't let NC State into their territory until the backups were on the field in that garbage time fourth quarter drive. I mean, the defense has been excellent all season long. This was the best Miami's defense has played all year. And it's like they made NC State's offense look like they were terrible. This is a team that came in averaging 32 points per game.
Right.
Miami almost held them to 0. Like, yeah, today, if you only watched NC State today, you would say, wow, C.J. Bailey is the worst quarterback in the country, and they've got 0 running game. Like, Hollywood Smothers at running back. Miami was smothering Smothers all day long. They've got one of the better tight ends in the country, Justin Jolie. He did virtually nothing in this game. And CJ just had an awful game in his South Florida homecoming because Miami did that to him. Miami made him look bad. And also after he threw the second of those interceptions, it didn't seem like he mentally bounced back from that. So the defense was astoundingly good today. And, of course, Jakobe Thomas gets the biggest of all the game balls with 2 interceptions and the pick 6. Yeah, and we needed guys to really step up in the defensive secondary without Keionte Scott. And they showed us the depth, right? Xavier Lucas played great. Mm-hmm. Bryce Fitzgerald, the true freshman, did his job. Like, I can't be happier with the secondary. And, yeah, man, you were – I'm glad –
too.
Oh, my gosh. The pass rush was so good. Today. Yeah, they played great. And then on the offensive side, you totally nailed it yesterday on our pregame conversation when you talked about that. You said you had more faith in the offense to turn it around this year than you did in the defense to turn it around last year. And so I look to like what was different today on offense versus previous games. And the first thing that stands out was starting Girard Pringle at running back was the absolute right decision and giving him all that work today. Because Pringle, again, he's got the decisiveness and the vision and just the bounce in his runs that Miami just doesn't have from the other guys. I mean, Fletcher from time to time, but he's more of a powerful battering ram. Marty Brown is like a cannonball, the way that he runs. And Jordan Lyle just hasn't had it this year. So Girard Pringle, starting him, despite the fact that until today he hadn't had a first half carry all season, and he starts. I thought that was an awesome decision. Another thing that's been different about this offense, but it's definitely been catching on over the past couple of weeks, is the way Keelan Marion for like the past 3 weeks has been playing at such a high level, because he was one of those guys first 5 or 6 games of the year. I'm always kind of like, man, I really expected Keelan to be more involved. This guy's so fast. He's so explosive. But we've started to see it over these past 3 weeks. We saw Josh Moore more involved. And then, of course, Malachi Toney, right? These last couple of weeks, I give, obviously we criticize, Shannon Dawson when needed. I also give him praise. And I think the way that Miami's been using Malachi Toney is he gets more comfortable as a true freshman. He throws another, not quite a touchdown today. Actually should have had a touchdown because he had that one overthrow in the second half, but he threw that great pass to JoJo Trader that was almost into the end zone. And Toney had some big catches today. And yeah, I thought Carson Beck played really, really well. At one point he was like 9-10 straight completions in the game. I think he finished, I got the numbers
13,
in front of me.
13 in a row.
Was it 13?
13?
Oh, man.
Third and fourth quarter. Yeah, he played lights out in the third and fourth quarter. It took him a while to get started, but, you look at the numbers in this game, it almost seems like a high school game with like like Miami Northwestern against a one-win team is what it's 28 to 9 first downs, 581 to 143 total yards. I mean, passing yards, it's just 367 to 120. And Alex, 214 to 23 on the ground. 23 yards, single digits in the first half on the ground for NC State.
And keep in mind, so NC State, they got Hollywood Smothers back today, who did absolutely nothing. Was their leading rusher, but then Jaden Duke Scott, their other running back, he went off for 196 against Georgia Tech 2 weeks ago, and Miami I think he had like one decent carry kind of late in the game, but Miami kept him and everybody bottled up. So, I know that this is a double-edged coin, right? Because as thrilled as we are with the performance today, we look back and say, where has this team been for big portions of the season? But you know what? Unfortunately, even though I'm a huge fan of the Back to the Future movies, unfortunately we cannot go back in time and redo the SMU game or the Louisville game. All Miami can do is keep winning. And, for all of the issues over the years that this team has had in the month of November, if you win 2 more, you can go 4-1 in the month of November, possibly, if you can win out. And if you play the way you played today, you can absolutely win these next couple of games, right? Because Virginia Tech is not a good football team.
Pitt was embarrassing against Notre Dame. Their coach set the tone earlier this week when he said he didn't care if they win this game because it's not a conference game, and his players and his team showed up like it. And we got no help, Alex. No help from Alabama. Oklahoma beats Alabama. We got no help. I thought BC was going to hold on against Georgia Tech. Virginia's beating Duke at home. So we're not really getting any help except for Clemson beating Louisville. Helps a little bit.
Well, we have a few opportunities to get help. Obviously, an Alabama win, which should have happened, that would have helped. They screwed it all up. But we still have opportunities.
Let's go, Georgia.
Let's go, Georgia. If Georgia beats Texas, Texas will fall behind Miami. TCU at BYU, I think it's possible. BYU's favored by 3.5 points at home, but I think it's possible TCU could win that game. That would help us. And then the other one is 13th ranked Utah is playing Baylor. Baylor's not very good, but Utah's had ups and downs. So those are the 3 games. If Utah, BYU, and Texas lose, we're talking about moving up 3 spots. I'm not expecting all of those things to happen, but maybe a couple of those things happen.
Well, one thing I always expect to happen is you to bring the energy and the best Canes coverage on the planet. So I know you got a big week coming up, Alex. You've had a lot of recruiting stuff lately. And a big win like this with a springboard into Virginia Tech, don't blow it next week. Set up everything on the line against Pitt. Win that game, make up for one of those losses, and maybe Miami makes the playoffs. I think our chances are pretty good if we win out.
Yeah, it could come down to the wire. But again, like you said, we got to win out. So, we'll focus on the next 2 games. We'll cross the bridge when we get to it. In the meantime, Grease, awesome job, sir, as always. Just keep rocking this postcast. And I'm glad you got a happy one to talk about today, a real happy one. And thanks to all the Locked On Canes everydayers. I'll talk to you guys next time. I'm either going to very late tonight or early tomorrow morning. I'm going to throw something up, but keep rocking this postcast, man. And I see you got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, man. So I'll let you get to it.
All right, at least it won't be your guts that you throw up this time, Alex. Appreciate you always, and we'll be watching Locked On Canes podcast with Alex Donno, and we'll say goodbye to Alex. He's headed back to the QAM postgame, and I am headed to break. We're a little late, but with the timing with Alex coming on, we're just going to have to deal with that, and we'll take that break now. 41-7 Miami absolutely pounds NC State. We'll give you the numbers on the other side. We'll give you the stars of the game on the other side, and we will give you a look ahead to Virginia Tech and Pitt, 2 in a row to close out the regular season. I said regular season because I'm on the road. Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh. It's your Canes postcast. Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day and the #1 sports podcast network. Oh, let me tell you about who delivered. And more importantly, let me tell you about the deal from DoorDash, because the deliveries on the field are done, but the deliveries off, hey, they are just starting right now. It's time to look back and crown today's MVP on who delivered, powered by DoorDash, just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving you more every time you order. These players delivered when it mattered most. Let's break it down for the Miami Hurricanes today. How about Carson Beck? 13 straight completions in this game, 3 touchdown passes. Malachi Toney caught 5 for 54. 2 of those scores, he delivered a beautiful 43-yard throw to JoJo Trader to set up a Marty Brown touchdown, first offensive touchdown of the game today for the Hurricanes. So Beck, Toney, and how about on defense, Jakobe Thomas, 2 picks on back-to-back drives. The first one, a 60-yard pick six, beautifully anticipating from his safety position, stepping in front of the receiver, racing down the sideline, and then for good measures, you watch Crispy Pizza on TikTok, Chris, for good measures, he goes and leaps and pulls one out of the air on the very next drive. So back-to-back, like Drake when he used to go back-to-back with all those hits. So I say Beck, I say Toney, Girard Pringle Jr., 100-plus yards on the day. So you can pick them today for the Hurricanes. When the pressure was on, they came through. No hesitation, no delay. And if you've been watching week after week, Beck and Toney, not always perfect for Carson Beck, but Malachi Toney's been getting it done all year long. And Carson Beck has had several spots in games where he's hit a lot of passes in a row, 6 picks in the 2 losses. But other than that, Beck has been pretty good for the most part. Not great, but today he was fantastic. And just like these guys delivered for the Canes, DoorDash delivers on your Saturdays with DoorDash Streaks. You save every Saturday you order. Stack it up all season. You can save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday. Tonight's the night. It's going to be all right. Or tomorrow with the Dolphins playing early in Madrid against the Commando Styles. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply. Promo period through November 18th with DoorDash on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And I want to tell you about FanDuel. That's right, FanDuel. Unbelievable, right? The NBA's back. College football, NFL in full swing, but no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game and you want to ride the hot hand like Norman Powell for the Miami Heat, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. How about Steph Curry against Wemby and the Spurs last night? Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. And how about UFC 322 tonight at MSG? Islam Makhachev up to welterweight against Jack Della Maddalena. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers, that could be you, $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com, sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And what a win for the Hurricanes tonight. Let's get right to the numbers because we are up against it from a time standpoint. The timing with Alex is what it is, and we love having him on the show. Did the preview show yesterday. I called it. The offense snapping out of it, baby. Let me lower this just a little bit. There we go. I lowered my chair to make my head match Alex's. It's a good thing. You know, like I'm a little older. We both have the bald head and the beard. And man, we've been working together since 2008 when we were both at 790 The Ticket. That is a long time ago. But Miami, 28-9 first downs over NC State. Third down, 5 for 10. NC State 3 for 11. A lot of that late. Miami outgains the Wolfpack 581-143 by 400+ yards. We outgained them in this game. 367-120 passing yards, 214-23 rushing yards. They had single-digit rushing yards in the first half. They didn't cross onto our side of the field until 2.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And then, of course, Miami had 1 penalty in the first half for 5 yards. The refs tried to make up for it in the second half, 7 for 70 with the penalties, but 2 turnovers for NC State, 1 for Miami, a Marty Brown fumble, the first lost fumble of the season for Miami. Time of possession, 36-43 to 23-17. How about on the individual side, man? I don't even care about anybody on NC State. I don't know about you, but Carson Beck hit 13 in a row at one point, 21 of 27, 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Thank you very much, Carson. Girard Pringle Jr., first start at tailback, 17 carries, 116 yards for the true freshman. Marty Brown, 8 for 45, but lost a fumble amidst the Bliss pickup, so he didn't play much after that. Wheatley Humphrey, 7 carries, 45 yards when he played. And how about the receivers with Daniels out right? And a couple other guys out as well. Keelan Marion, 7 for 96. Joshua Moore, 2 for 56. Toney, 5 for 54 in the 2 TDs. Elijah Lofton caught a 29-yard TD. I want to talk about, Carter Davis, 2 for 3 on field goals, missed a 42-yarder, hit a 31 and a 38. But on defense, Mesidor, 5 tackles, 3 solo, a sack, 2 tackles for loss. He dominated today. Girard Jr. had a big game. And, of course, man, what a game in the secondary for Miami. More on that in just a moment, but a big game for Miami all the way across the board. 2 interceptions for Jakobe Thomas. Mesidor was huge. I want to make sure that I bring that up as well. 5 punts in the first half for NC State. 3 of them were 3 and outs, and then 2 interceptions. 7 possessions, 2 interceptions, 5 3 and outs, 3 of them 3 and out, So 5 punts, 3 of them 3 and out. I'll get it right eventually. 7 possessions, 2 interceptions, 5 punts, 3 and outs. There you go, Grease. The University of Miami degree is coming in handy right there. But what a win for the Hurricanes. Players of the game, we talked about it in DoorDash. Beck, Toney, Pringle, and of course Thomas, Mesidor. We'll give them 5 today because they deserve it. So Miami with the win, obviously very important to pick that up. Didn't get help much today at all. Maybe could still get some tonight, but the Hurricanes at number 15, maybe they move up, maybe they don't, but they go to 8-2. NC State falls to 5-5, 2-4 in the ACC. Again, Clemson beat Louisville, but Georgia Tech came back on Boston College. The big one, Alabama lost at home to Oklahoma. Could have popped up ahead of Oklahoma, but if Georgia beats Texas tonight, Texas will fall behind us. The other game to really keep your eye on was that Notre Dame just obliterated Pittsburgh today. We got Pitt in 2 weeks, and I don't like the mentality and the mindset of the Pittsburgh coach earlier this week. It's not a conference game. I only care about conference games. Well, do you care about your team getting its ass kicked up and down God's green earth? Throw a little rock reference out there. My brother, we were in the same class at the U, and man, oh man, I'll tell you what, a big win for Miami coming off the Syracuse dub. Wanted to see them get the shutout. But the most important thing I saw today, the defense dominating, but the most important thing was the offense, the consistency coming along, and the injection of Girard Pringle Jr. into that game plan, the emergence of Keelan Marion, the reemergence of Malachi Toney. Seems silly to say, but, they found better ways. And dare I say it, the creativity, oh my God, I'm going to fall off my chair, of Shannon Dawson. Notice I haven't mentioned Mario Cristobal because I only mention him when he screws up. And you can't screw up this team, although he did twice. And we won't get back into that right now, but not letting them off the hook for those 2 losses. They were disgraceful. They were despicable. We should still be undefeated right now. Beck with the 6 picks in the 2 games. I'm not going to stop harping on that because it might cost us in the end if we don't make the playoffs. But for right now, it's a day to celebrate. So thank you for being here. Thank you for help making us number 1, man. Your first listen or watch every day, and the number 1 podcast network. Don't forget Locked On ACC with Kenton Gibbs and our guy, Alex Donno. And you can find it Locked On ACC on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Keep on making us number 1, you everydayers, you newbies. Keep on coming back for the best Canes coverage on the planet with Alex. I'm with him every Friday doing the prediction show, and Saturdays with the postcast. Also, tomorrow, I'll be hosting the Dolphin Squad Show right after the game. Another W, I think, for the Fins against the Commanders in Madrid. I'll be doing that show with Kyle Krabs and Jeff Scanina. Man, with Donno, with Krabs, with Scanina, I am spoiled, and I hope you enjoy the content here on the Locked On Podcast Network, the number 1 sports podcast network in the world, and your team every day. Until next time, Canes fans, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Keep your game tight and your mind right, and go Miami, 41-7. Pounding of NC State.